A former Michigan Democratic Party chair says 5 of the 6 Michigan residents arrested last week for threats being made to University of Michigan officials were part of the Democratic Party. According to the Detroit News, former chair Lon Johnson is urging party leaders to review and possibly discipline 5 Democrats accused in a federal threats case. Prosecutors say the group targeted University of Michigan officials over the school's ties to Israel, including a late-night attack on a regent's home and online messages about killing and terrorizing a former university president and his family. Current party chair Curtis Hertel says he's appalled by the anti-Semitic threats and says Democrats condemn all hatred and violence.